Originally, I was going to do individual videos of each of these films once more of them came out, but given the recent success of Ne Zha 2 becoming the highest grossing animated film in history, I just cannot get this movie out of my head, so I figured I need to talk about it now. Ne Zha 2, or Ne Zha Devil Boy Conquers the Dragon King, is a 2025 animated film directed by Jiaozi, which means dumpling, by the way. The film is not only a sequel to the 2019 feature Ne Zha, Birth of the Demon Child, but an adaptation of a 16th century novel Investiture of the Gods, which its predecessor and the 2020 film Jiangxia are also derived from. The film follows two boys who were born from two spheres, Ne Zha, a fire spirit who came from the demon orb, and Ao Bing, an ice dragon who came from the spirit pearl. The movie takes place after their battle from the end of the first film, which the opening scene of the sequel does recap. So what happens is that an invasion of Chengteng Pass led by Shen Gongbao occurs, and in the midst of this conflict, the physical body of Ao Bing is destroyed. Ao Bing's father, Ao Guang, negotiates a ceasefire, and that if his son's body isn't restored in 7 days, Chengteng Pass will not be spared. So Ne Zha allows Ao Bing to inhabit his body as they and Tai Yi seek out a potion that could restore the sacred lotus that can bring new life for spirits, with the intention of bringing back Ao Bing as their efforts bring them to the court of heaven. There, Ne Zha, with Ao Bing's spirit, has to prove himself worthy enough to replenish the sacred lotus back home, but along the way, our leads find themselves entangled in various complexities such as conspiracy, betrayal, vengeance, destruction, and all sorts of things that make this adventure more epic yet unpredictable and tumultuous. For those who have not seen the film, I will refrain from spoilers. I think this is a movie everybody needs to see, so feel free to stick around for my thoughts and decide whether or not this film is worth your time. But before I give my thoughts on Ne Zha 2, I want to say I really did enjoy the first movie. I felt it was very neat, very cute, funny, heartwarming, had lots of soul behind it, fun, memorable characters, and the movie gave a very touching and inspiring message of challenging your destiny, defying fate, and overcoming your greatest weaknesses so that they become your greatest strengths. Kind of like this one book I wrote. And going off of that, I had no idea what to expect going into the sequel. Yet somehow, this film manages to greatly surpass everything the first movie did very well at the least. Whereas the first Ne Zha was a pretty glorious presentation in regards to delivering a comforting story backed by really nice animation, Ne Zha 2 takes what it offered and turns it into a sprawling narrative with lots more emotion and passion, while also greatly expanding upon the insane scale of this world 1,000-fold. It truly felt I was experiencing this legend come to life in front of me with how unbelievably tangible it ended up feeling. It is an epic in every sense of the word, world building like no other. Ne Zha 2 had 4,000 animators working on its production and had a budget of 600 million yuan, or $82.7 million, and every single frame of this movie wears it so proudly because watching it, I could hardly comprehend what they managed to accomplish. It's truly a film that challenges what animated pictures are capable of because the visuals are very lavish, colorful, and so well designed to the point where it's like you can just walk in. Which is funny because they did release the film in 3D here and I stuck with 2D, and even then, it was so gorgeous. When it comes to the story itself and how it plays out, I was not expecting all the very emotional twists and turns that occurred. Every character gets a moment that ends up speaking volumes about who they are, which results in them becoming more intimately written as fleshed out characters. Each one is really enjoyable too, as they have lots of variety in their personalities. One of the things I noticed was how Shen Gongbao's subtitles were handled differently than everyone else's. Like, he would repeat a word and have an ellipses, and this is because he speaks in a much older Chinese dialect. And also like how, as villainous as he is, he surprisingly has a bit of a heart to him. The chemistry between Ne Zha and Al Bing was also executed with grace. The body sharing aspect definitely made room for plenty of character development and very creative action sequences, as well as some very hilarious bits of comedy here and there. It was such a genius way to make each of their characters stand out, and we really see how their differences complement one another. I also really enjoyed Tai and Generals Li Jing and Lady Yin, and how much they added to the drama and comedy, as well as shape Ne Zha into who he would become as the story progresses. The other dragons were cool too. All the voice actors in this movie suit their characters with ease, truly embodying who they are to the point where they just feel so alive. All the plot beats are very balanced, and when they all stack up, it unravels a lot more layers that just make it feel more rich, which is surprising given how many different directions the story goes. There's a huge twist that takes place a good way into the film, and it completely recontextualizes everything that's happened prior. It's a lot to take in and think about without going into spoilers, and as a result, you have such a beautiful story that's about the strengths of brotherhood and companionship, fighting for the things you love and cherish no matter what, self-discovery through hardship, overcoming loss and trauma, staying true to yourself. There's so many ideas and messages this movie tackles, and it's done so wonderfully that I'm honestly underselling it, although it's definitely better than Titania's Book 1. Another thing that stood out to me was how blood was utilized, in addition to how dark it gets, which is regularly a huge no-no over here when it comes to American animated films. And I think making room for the kind of violence this movie manages to portray really helped elevate the stakes and tension the characters are faced with, as they further solidify the consequences if things ever went south. It really draws you in. All in all, Ne Zha 2 boasts very supremely glorious animations where every frame may as well be a painting, backing it up with a mightily ambitious story with wonderfully nuanced characters, accompanied by a tremendous score by Rock Chen. Huge congratulations to Jiaozi and animation directors Yi Ge and Shan Hao for creating something that legitimately rivals the world of animation and film as we know it. Everyone here deserves their flowers. Whenever the inevitable Ne Zha 3 comes out, I am absolutely there. By the way, I should know that, I guess because China really loves this show, there's a lot of Family Guy edits and fan art based on this film. That's going to be it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if this movie interests you, and if you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comments. I would also recommend the currently ongoing Creation of the Gods film series by Guo Shen that adapts different parts of the same book Ne Zha is based on. I want to shout out my channel members and my supporters on Patreon. If you like what you see and want to get early access to videos and exclusive content, click the link below. Other than that, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, everyone.
来，烧你们来了！